every major golf brand wants you to believe they've reinvented the wheel. They tell you that today's brand new technology is a major breakthrough and is designed to help you hit it straighter and longer, even when you miss the middle. But is this really something that's brand spanking new? I was speaking to my dad about this on the range on Friday, and anybody that knows my dad knows that this is something he is super passionate about. And here's the truth. Heel and toe weighting for off-center forgiveness aren't modern miracles. They've been around for decades. This is a vintage rider heel toe design driver, and already they were experimenting with redistributing weight to keep the face more stable during impact and reduce the punishment of off-center hits. So why are golf companies selling this like it's revolutionary? Because in golf, and I guess marketing in general, perception is everything. And the fact that this off-center hit reduction in dispersion is brand new technology is a total myth and one of the biggest marketing tricks in the game. So I thought I would do some extensive testing out here on the course, but before I even got on here this morning, I have hit lots and lots of golf balls down on the range. And I have some surprising differences in data between a 2025 juggernaut and this absolute classic. A rider, and look at it, heel toe. A big shout out to my dad who had this in his garage, who actually doesn't know that I have it right now. We had this conversation and I was like, okay, let me take this off you. So we have the data, but my plan is to play 3 holes here out on the golf course and dive into what is the difference in the amount of fairways that I hit. 2, what difference of club do I have then into this hole, and does it affect my scoring? Let's start off with my modern driver. And for this club, I'm gonna use a Vice 1. For the rider, I'll use a Vice 2. Line-wise here, we're looking sort of just right of that greenside bunker would be perfect. Having looked at that and having looked at this, there is a huge difference. Oh, that was such a nice hit. It's a little bit of a push. Oh, that's a missed fairway, you know. I'm gonna have to tee this significantly lower. Now, what will be interesting is, what do we score with each of these as our driver? And does a 1970s driver actually perform better? That is 55 years of difference. That is 55 years less technology, supposedly. Look how crazy that looks down behind the ball. Oh my. Oh, it looks tiny. In my head, I'm thinking right here, there's no way that this can win. But, only way to find out. Same target. There's water to go over here too. Come on, shake off the nerves. Oh. You are joking me right now. Can we just have a look at that shape? That's a fairway hit. I've just hit a fairway, not with my modern juggernaut, but with my 55-year-old classic. Just think about that for a second. I've just hit the fairway, and I might add to that a baby draw with the old beauty. That felt really good. I didn't even feel that hit. I'm gonna have this in here just because keep it here nice and tight. That was unbelievably good. To be fair, that was actually a lot better than I expected. I think that's going to be similar distance. Oh, and I am actually recording this on an app to see how far this then goes in real life. So we have data, and interesting data from the driving range, but then we also have data from the course, because I think they're always very different. In play versus range, things act so differently. Now, let me just dive into a little bit of this tech. What does heel-toe design mean? Now, heel-toe weighting refers to putting more mass/weight towards the heel and the toe sides of the golf club. Now, this is done essentially to increase the resistance to twisting on off-center hits. By placing weight nearer the heel and the toe, the amount of inertia, or MOI, about the vertical axis is increased, which reduces the amount of face rotation through the golf ball when struck on off-center hits. And that's like referring to these here. Can you see these screws? We've got a weight here, and weight is placed. And this is, I think, a weight here on the bottom. And can you sort of see the shaping of this, how it's, I'm going to say, sort of semi-clover-like shape. Now, this is how they did it 55 years ago. In modern drivers, I've just stopped to get out the buggy to show you this on my modern driver. Let me get my head cover off. We're way off the golf balls here, by the way. And in modern drivers, we have things like this: heel weighting, center weight, and toe weighting. They're also designed to have a much more stable face, again, increasing MOI. And we just think about this in simple terms. It is sold as the fact that your off-center hits are going to go straighter. Now, am I saying that companies are lying to us? No. But what I am saying that I'm exposing a little bit of a marketing myth right here. And this, I think, even on hole 1, is starting to prove it. Okay, we are 36 yards from the tee. And we are now approaching the ball that is in the fairway. This is the Vice number 2. Let me just turn this right here. Can you see that on the ground there? Right there. That is our ball with the rider. Look, that has just gone, finishing 281. No doubt it had a lot of rollout. There is the Vice. Let's just take a few steps. Like, I have no idea where this golf ball is. All I know is it went a little bit down the right. Okay, so we're now into the rough on the right-hand side. No doubt it's gone probably a little bit further here. Oh, it has. It's there. Like, if I zoom in, just there, and that's gone. Oh, that's gone a long way. Oh, but offline. 317. But 317 yards, not in a good spot. Well, I mean, I got a chance, but we're looking at the fact that MOI and this heel-toe dispersion makes the fact that our driver head is going to be more stable through impact. Therefore, we should be straighter and significantly straighter overall. From here on this golf ball, we got 63 yards left. Why has the greenkeeper put that flag right at the back in a horrible spot? Straight down the throat. That's not bad. There's a chance of a birdie with a 55-year-old driver from the tee. You know what my dad also found funny? How many guys he plays with now use mini drivers? So smaller headed drivers with more loft that have slightly shorter shafts. If you think of the progression over the last 15 years, it's to get a bigger head and a longer shaft to give us the best chance of having consistency, having more club head speed. And that narrative for me is starting to change. We're now looking at clubs that are marketed to be the most forgiving they could ever be. Ping did it, Callaway did it, 10K MOI, TaylorMade did it. Everyone's at it, claiming it's new or trying to give us that placebo and that myth that it's new. We have 55 yards left and we have a blind shot. I like it. Ooh, this is tight. Ball on the left, this one right here is our rider ball. That's where it pitched. This one is closer, and this is with our modern driver, but we have missed the green ever so slightly. Wasn't a bad putt. So that's a par. Fairway, green, 2-putt, stress-free. Missed, nearly lost ball. Missed the green again. Oh, you are joking me. That was coming in. Okay, so par after the first hole. Scores on the doors. So we are both level par through one. Let's see which comes out on top. And what's super interesting right now is that the distance those first 2 tee shots went. Now, going into the second hole, the 17th here at Mottram, I hit an absolute beaut with the rider. Like, look at this flight, even like a little bit of a tiger line.
Bullet.
With my own driver,
brilliant.
I hit it a little bit heely, a little bit cutty, and it still went straight. Now, what's interesting here is a good sort of 8, 9 out of 10 hit with the rider. How does that compare to how I hit it with like a 6, 7 out of 10 with my new driver, my 2025 Juggernaut? Before that though, I know we've all been dying to see these stats, so let's dive into these stats. I want to start with this number, smash factor. That was both over 5 shots, a 1.43. So both very, very efficient overall. Remember, MOI is about how forgiving even an off-center hit. So for both of them to be very consistent around a 1.43, unreal. 1.5 being the best. Next up, club head speed. Now, this is really interesting and where modern drivers definitely have it. 108 with the Callaway versus 100.8. Huge difference there. Now, this was done on the range with range balls. I always want to make that really clear. Next up, ball speed. We have an 11 miles an hour. Well, let's say 10, 144, 143.8 versus a 154. And the big thing, the carry numbers. With my Callaway, I averaged around a 242, and with the Rider, I averaged a 223. Now, that was on the driving range, when you can just swing at it. But I'm interested to know, what does this compute to out on the golf course? I've just pulled over here. We've got 250 yards left in. We are 202 yards away from the tee. The golf balls are a good distance away and they're so close to each other. So we are just approaching the golf balls now, and on the left hand side we have our brand new Callaway Juggernaut, and literally there must be like hardly any difference in this, and on this side this is the Rider, and actually, to be fair, is going to give us a significantly shorter distance in. And these numbers are as followed. 262, 263, literally nothing in it. That leaves us around, for the Rider, a 202 shot into this green, all the way over this side. Well, still the way, it's about 10 yards in this direction. Oh, we've got a tough shot here. We've got to hit a little curl around the tree. We've got 207 left in, so actually, technically, on the angle, even though this has gone slightly further from the tee, I've got a longer shot in. Downwind, this potentially could be. I think it's 2 5-irons in here. First up, we're gonna hit the Callaway. Remember, the scores are tied after this first hole, and on the golf course, there doesn't feel like there's much difference in either carry, a little bit difference in distance, but dispersion. I feel laser accurate with that 55-year-old club. Granted, we have one more hole to play. And the chances are, the more we play, the more likely I'm not to find that middle. 5-iron in hand. I think a little fade off that left side is just the ideal shot here. I like this shot. Get a kick in off that. Oh yes, that's one on the green. Boom. Okay, this is the Rider shot in. Same club, similar distance, much more central. So I've hit the fairway twice. The Callaway cannot beat this. Get a piece on the right. Ooh, on the right edge. The data is really interesting, isn't it? The difference between what actually happens on the golf course, what happens on the range. And I think that's a really important point to add. Like, when you are getting fitted for anything, it's maybe worth just taking it out on the golf course as well, if that is an opportunity and you do have a chance to do that. Now, going back to what I mean by way marketing and the way driver manufacturers and club manufacturers are giving it the big spiel. I get it, they have to, right? Because they want people to buy their products. I understand that, but this technology has been around for years, and yes, it has been improved massively. That isn't what we're saying here, but it's not new. It has just been refined. So with the Callaway ball, we had a long putt. We managed to get 2 put down for a par. Then with the Rider, it required like a little short chip and then, well, holding a pretty good 4.5 footer for my par, but the scores are tied. The distances, Callaway just has it a little bit, but in terms of accuracy, the Rider is 2-1 up heading into the final hole. I don't think anyone's more surprised than I am on the consistency of this driver. Other things to point out, right? And this is where technology has improved. The weight is movable here in the Callaway. It's obviously not here in the Rider. This has got carbon fiber. It's multi-material with titanium with an AI face. What's funny? AI 55 years ago, people would have gone, what? Like, they would have not even had an idea what it was. Not a Scooby. And this is made from persimmon, or like a laminated wood. You know what? My dad's kept this in good condition. There is a few sky marks here, Dad. You see like this in the middle. There's almost like a plastic insert right here. So it's all come down to this. We're on the final hole. The scores are locked in. The Rider has hit 2 out of 2 fairways. This has hit 1 out of 2. Okay. Here we go, first up with the Callaway. That was heeled. Ah, that's missed the fairway. Ugh. I hit that about there, literally about there. That was disgusting in strike. terrible. I don't know what it is with this smaller club. I often find this, not just with this, but with the mini drivers, I just sort of lock in the fact that it is smaller. I wonder what the loft is on this. It just says 1 wood and heel toe precision MK2. There is no loft on this. They did 1 wood, 2 wood, 3 wood and 5 wood. Has anybody actually used them? And they're only really apparently sold within the UK. They weren't sort of a global thing, this, and that's what my dad was sort of explaining to me. Let me hit this one away and I'll go into that a little more. Come on, let's hit 3 out of 3, sir. Good old sir. Oh, it's a little left. Right, well, this is 1 left and 1 right. Oh, I got a terrible kick. That's in the long hay. Oh, no, I've let it down. Right, this is going to be funny where these have gone. These are both terrible hits. Both missed the fairway. But what's going to be interesting is, wonder what the difference in distance is. I'm going to go for the rider first. I'm sure this is going to be shorter. So going back to my story on when I was explaining the fact that golf clubs, what my dad was explaining to me was, they were sort of made by your local pro. They would do the winding, they would do the binding, they would cure the wood. And golf shops sort of, I'm not going to say made their own clubs, but you could only sort of buy British clubs in Britain. America had their own versions, and also you could say the same with the golf ball. And then sort of in the 1980s, I think, we started then to use what my dad called the American golf ball, maybe 1980s, 1990s. And I find this absolutely, 1, super interesting, but 2, absolutely mind-boggling. Right, we're 205 yards from the tee, and I need to hang a left here around this bunker because I saw it get an awful, and I mean truly awful bounce. Just can't be. This is 227, which I don't think is like a terrible hit with this club, but the first one that we've just not quite got. Got it! No wonder I couldn't see it. Look at the state of that lie. Now that was a 215 from the tee, so considerably shorter. I'm just gonna have to lock in here and just whack this up that fairway as far as I can. Oh, that's come out way better than I thought. We still got a chance to make a birdie with that. That's gonna leave me around 150 in. And this shot right here on completely the opposite side of the fairway went a 241. So a miss hit did go further. But the point I'm trying to get to you here is, it's not revolutionary new technology. They've improved what has been around for years. Okay, here you go. Watch this for a gem of a hook around this tree. Oh, that was ripped. Keep coming round, get in that gap. That couldn't have been placed any better. Right, let's see how we finish. We're a lot closer with the Callaway bottle. That chop out the trees has left us a 142 shot in here. And you know what? I'm quite happy with that chop out the trees / thick rough. We've still got a chance of a birdie. Does anybody else agree with me that they try and make it feel like it's brand new tech, where it's just a myth? It's not. We've seen this and they're building on it. And I honestly think we're gonna go back to just more forgiveness. We've already started to see that trend, and there's one reason and one reason only. Keep coming round. This is all over it. Be the club, please. We're dancing. And that simple reason is the fact that the golf ball is going to start to go shorter. So we sort of need to flick the narrative on, we're not going to be able to make drivers that go longer because that just won't exist. Okay, this is what we've got left. It was such a good 5-iron around that tree. It's left us 63 yards left. And I'm not going to put the rider in the bag. Of course I'm not. But me and my dad were just going down this route of, he's heard all this tech year after year, and it's like going round on a cycle. And I think when you see that and you've been around a golf for a long time, you're just more aware of that. That's got to be spinny and good. How good was that shot? Look at that for a shot. And the rider just over there. Literally nothing in it with scores. Par. Bit of a dodgy first putt with the rider, but then we managed to hold it, and then a bit of a push on the last there. Wasn't the best hit. But overall, I think what we've got to look at this is, yes, this technology has been improved, but they've not reinvented the wheel. They've improved what has actually been there for generations. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and on that note, don't forget, this is where we review the latest product. And if there's anything that you're thinking of buying, let me know what it is so I can review it and give you my opinion and put it properly to the test.